Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two American blended whiskeys. Both are aged 3 years. The straight whiskeys in the blend are aged 3 years. Um, and they're both inexpensive. Okay, I bought one in Louisiana and I bought one in Arkansas. The one I bought in Louisiana is Banker's Club. Banker's Club. There's a whole series of liquor they make. There's Banker's Club Gin, Banker's Club Vodka, Banker's Club uh, Rum, Banker's Club Brandy, Banker's Club American Blended Whiskey, and Banker's Club Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I think I'm pretty sure that the Black Label Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey is at Total Wine and More. But I bought this one, the blended. It's got a medal on it, because you know how many medals it won. Yeah. Introduced in medal with a horse on. Introduced in 1969, but the bottle says quality since 1907. What's the disparity here? Well, okay, I'll explain that. Bankers Club, let's see here. Bankers Club American Blended Whiskey, and it doesn't even have a trademark on it. Nowhere on here does it say it's protected by a trademark. I guess they figure ain't nobody going to try to copy it. But I noticed that it's not trademark. It's got two American eagles with the shield, look like on the money. It says extra fine American blended whiskey, and it is bottled by Regent Distillers Products Company, Scobeyville, New Jersey. But it's really Kasser-Laird. Kasser was the company that started Bankers Club, but then Kasser was bought out by Laird's, the guys that make Laird's Applejack. And so they make this. Okay. And it found its way from the East Coast, right close to the Atlantic Ocean, is where Laird's is located in Scobeyville, all the way to the Gulf Coast. I'm 6 miles from the beach. Okay. But anyway, that's the case that they gave me. So Bankers Club, this big jug bottle was like $13.99. It was exactly $13.99, $13.99, and that is a fact. Now, here is Quality House, introduced in 1980. It's got a crown for some bizarre reason. And it says, blended whiskey with natural flavors. It's also aged 3 years. Doesn't say it on the bottle. There's no age statement on the bottle. So how can I say, natural flavors, caramel color. So how can I say that it's aged 3 years? Because on the website, heavenhill.com, it lists the different bottle sizes of this product. And it says Quality House 70 proof, 3 year. So it's given the age statement on the website, 3 year age, DSS, distilled specialty spirit. What that means is technically it's not a whiskey, even though it's listed under their blended whiskey category, because they don't have a category for distilled specialty spirits that I could tell. But what that means is you can't sell whiskey for less than 80 proof. That's the minimum. All whiskey in America must be 80 proof. But they dropped this to 70 proof. So how can they sell it? Because now it's not a whiskey. It's a distilled specialty spirit, subcategory flavored whiskey. Yeah, I know that's, as they say in England, a little dodgy, but that's how they get around it. It's like it's illegal, except when it's not illegal. Okay. So you got to take some of this stuff with a grain of salt because there's ways around it and it's legal. Okay. Because distilled specialty spirits, subcategory flavored whiskey can be as low as 60 proof up to 79 proof. Okay. So 35% alcohol, 40% alcohol. Not a big difference, but it's a difference. I've gotten it wrong 4 times, so it just goes to show you it tastes a lot like the other ones. What are the natural flavors? Who knows? Who will ever know? To me, it's like they're using like pecan extract or walnut extract and vanilla. Maxwell is in the Russian Federation. Hello, Ron. Hello to you, Maxwell. Thanks for watching overnight here. It'll be daylight soon here. By the time this is over, the daylight will be creeping in, you see, and then I'll be able to go to church. And then do Stout Sunday at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, 7:30 a.m. Pacific. All right. 5:30 a.m. Hawaii time. I doubt anybody from Hawaii will be watching. Yeah. All right. Does this one have caramel color added? I couldn't tell you, but I could tell you that I think it does. Because if it's 80% grain spirits, unaged, clear, odorless, colorless, seriously doubt it's going to come out that dark. Nah, I mean, okay. Got to pour it in the right. I got them labeled at the bottom, but I got to pour it in the right glass. You got to watch these built-in pours because that stuff will come just flowing out. These are nice if you want to get a real hard pour, but the problem is you get a real hard pour, so it'll just flow out and fill the glass. We don't want that. We just want a little taste. Now you go back over here, Bankers Club. Will I ever try the Bankers Club brandy and rum and all that? Well, you know, maybe. The straight bourbon especially I'd like to get a hold of. But I'm so backlogged on bourbon. It's like, oh yeah, in 10 years I'll buy it. And I'm not joking, like in 10 years I'll buy it. If you look at my bourbon backstock, you'll say, oh yeah, it's going to take 10 years to go through all of that at this rate, at this pace. What is the pace? You know the pace if you've been watching my channel. I do a solo review of whatever product. Let's say brandy. And then I do taste challenges against all the other brandies I have to see if it's really if it's a standout, if I can tell it apart. Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. And it's a blind taste test. And then I go to the next category, and it goes around and around, but it takes maybe a year. Well, maybe let's say 7 months to go all the way around. So in a year, I might go around twice, but probably I won't. Okay. Mm-hmm. Some little odd things we notice. The quality house is full of sediment. Now, you know, normally when you look at whiskey, it's clear, right? Clear as a bell, but not quality house. I'm looking through this bottle, and it's like every time I look at it, it's getting more sediment filled. I'm seeing chunks throughout, top to bottom. It looks like somebody dropped dust in here. But clearly that didn't happen. So what's the story? They just didn't bother to filter it? I guess that could be true. But I think the reality is that the natural flavors they added are starting to separate from the blend, and they're starting to be evident. Now this one has some sediment too, this Bankers Club. I see some stuff floating around, some floaties as people call it, but it's minimal. So this is a theory. It's now the appearance, they're both well, I gotta watch it though, because the quality house is not darker. They're both amber gold, but the quality house is, it's got that haziness. Oh, what did I just do? Poured the wrong one. Oh, that's a problem. Damn. Okay, well, now I got to go fix the problem. I'm going to go pour this out. I'm not going to pour it out, but you know what I'm saying, in another glass. What a mistake. Oh, what a mistake. I made a cuvee, which was clearly not the intention. Maybe I'll use it to cook, because I am going to cook something later. Well, that's aggravating. All right. Mistakes happen, especially when I'm running the show, you know. Yeah. Okay. They're both amber gold, but the Quality House, you can tell when you glance at it because it's got that murky appearance. You know, it's that musty, murky appearance. So I gotta be. I don't think you can see musty. That's a smell, not an appearance. Okay, a murky appearance. Hector says, morning. There is affordable desktops at Best Buy if you need a new computer in the future. Cheers. Just got off at work. Oh yeah, I mean Walmart's got them. But the problem with buying cheap is that it's not going to work on the live streams like this. Yeah, because it's just me, and Google Hangouts don't use a lot of bandwidth, so no problem. But when you get on StreamYard, it starts killing your memory. Every person you add, it's slowing you down. By the time you get 6 people, I'm barely making it. This system is not designed for that. Now, when I'm looking at YouTube videos or listening to music or looking at websites or looking at Facebook or looking at, yeah, no problem. You know, it's fast. It's actually quite fast. But for the other applications, StreamYard, Hangouts, yeah, it just gets killed, you know. But $800 or, you know, $600 to $800 so I could do live Hangouts when this system is working for everything else, kind of not a real incentive for me to buy it. You know, I'd rather keep this till it's just gone. You know, because I'm not just dying. Like, I have to do live Hangouts with people. I have to do that. I don't have to do that. I like to do it, but I'm not one of these people that's going to be on the internet for 6 hours overnight chatting with people I barely know or don't know at all. And they do it all the time. I wake up in the morning, I see they've been like 4-hour video. Well, it's fine. I don't care. It's not hurting me. It's not hurting them. If they want to chat all night, doesn't make any difference. I'm not really interested in that to start with. I'd rather just watch a basketball game, for instance, you know. So Claude Diamond was like, we got to raise money for Ronald or Jay so that he could buy a new system. I got the money and I have a savings account, but I just feel like it's wasteful, you know. But Google is starting to expand, you know. Now they got this Google, whatever they call it, have a friend, like you could add a friend to your Hangouts and do it live on YouTube, but it's got to come from your phone at this time. Now they're going to probably expand it where it can go to laptops, desktops, phone, and everything. And then they'll probably add to where you could add more people. If it kills the speed, it kills the speed. But I didn't have that problem when we did the old Google Hangouts on air. It'd just be working fine, you know. I don't know why they killed that. All right. Caramel. I miss Google Hangout. I wonder why they removed it. Everybody in the world was wondering that. Why did they remove it? It's a mystery. Unless they had a secret investment in one of these other companies that do live streaming. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah. It just smells like vanilla and oak. I'm sorry I wasted the whiskey. I had to go pour it in another glass. I'm not even interested in drinking it. You might say, you just want to drink more whiskey. Oh, no, I can assure you I don't. Corn, oak, vanilla. And haven't I said this too many times? Corn, oak, vanilla. Corn, oak, vanilla. Smell like regular, standard American whiskey. Does it smell like bourbon whiskey? Yeah, you know, kind of like that. That's what it's made with. Not totally. Okay, over here. Yeah, it smells like that, but it's not as much aroma. Like it's the aromas of corn, vanilla, and oak, but it's not as much. And that's making me think it's the quality house. Because the quality house, I was saying all along, seemed like it was flat in the flavor. Like the flavor was not there. Like it was a lack of flavor. Like like it was bland. Okay, let's go with the taste. Cheers. Um, Thanks Microsoft for chiming me like that. I don't want it. Okay. They're always trying to get me to sign up for these Microsoft Edge. I don't even use that web browser and it's always got problems, and I hate it. Okay, it's slow. It always has problems, and I hate it. Good, three good reasons, right? All right. It's weird here. The more aromatic one, the one with more aroma, has less flavor, and the one with less aroma has more flavor. So, isn't that something? Uh, got more wood, strong wood. So I mean, definitely tasting the oak barrels. Aged 3 years, oak barrel. They must be using heavily charred oak, but they probably use barrels. Well, no, retraction. A blended whiskey must include straight. Yeah, it's got to be straight whiskey with the grain spirit. So retract. It has to be charred oak barrels. Yeah, never mind. Can't be used barrels. That's illegal. Yeah, it could have been heavily charred because they only went 3 years on the aging. So they might have put a thick alligator char, as they call it, the number 4 level, to give it that, and then start blending it with the unaged whiskey, the grain spirits, as they call it. Okay, or moonshine, as people call it when they're selling it. And can you imagine people buy that in a jar? Moonshine, it's just unaged grain spirits, which they use in these blends here. But since they put it in a mason jar with a ribbon on it and some little cute name, people say, oh, yeah, I was drinking moonshine. Okay. You could have bought that for a third of the price. You could have bought it for a third of the price. You could buy it for cheap. Now it's going to be 190 proof. But you could solve that problem by bringing it down with water. You could bring it down to 8. I don't. They got gauges. You could test the level, I guess. But you could just take the 190 proof moonshine, what they call it. Like they call it Jim Pure, Diesel from Sazerac, or the famous one Everclear from Luxco. You could just bring it down to 80 proof with water, and there you go. I don't know why you wouldn't drink that, but that's people buy it. Just put it in a mason jar with a fancy ribbon in it. It'd be pretty, and then you can enjoy it. But you can really take that, make your own liqueurs. And I know somebody that did this. He did that with cherries. You could soak pecans, maybe put some brown sugar in there with it. You could take cucumbers if you want to make a weird vegetable flavor one. You could be creative. Just put it in the freezer for 6 months, a year, glass jar. I mean, I'm not going to take the time to do it because you know how I am. I just don't do that kind of stuff. But I have had those before, and they taste very good. You could strain it through a strainer, or drink it with the solids in it, and probably be a yummy thing. My grandpa used to make that kind of stuff. All right, he had black cherry trees in his backyard. They're little bitty tiny black cherries. He used to make something called cherry bounce. You can buy that at the store. It's called Kiafa. It's from Poland and Finland, depending on what bottle you buy. Sometimes it'll say Poland, sometimes Finland, but Kiafa, cherry flavored wine. Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, I think that's the quality house. Why? Because it doesn't have as much quality. What I mean is it doesn't have much flavor. It's smooth. Now, I'm not saying it's bitey and harsh. It ain't, but it's just bland. And I recall the quality house being kind of dull. But I shouldn't expect much for $5.99 a bottle. Truthfully, it was $5.99 for this distilled specialty spirit, so-called flavored whiskey, as it's legally termed. I would, if I was buying either one of these, and I did buy both of these, I would get the Bankers Club. So I bought the Quality House of Villa Liquors in Texarkana, Arkansas. So if you ever passing through Texarkana, it's a very nice liquor store called Villa on United States Highway 71, just north of the interstate. Very nice store, and I bought it there, and it's $5.99. Bankers Club, like I told you, bought a Total Wine and More, Metairie, Louisiana, and $13.99. So take your pick. But I think I'll go with the Bankers Club. Get more oak, more vanilla. Now, is it really vanilla just from the oak, or are they adding vanilla flavoring? They don't say that they're adding natural flavors, but you know what? The regulation does not say that you have to. You can disclose it if you feel like it, but you're not required to disclose it. For blended whiskey, you're not required, so it's your option. You can add caramel coloring and flavoring. Don't have to mention it. Yeah. So that's the story, and I'm going to stick to it because that's all I can do is make the determination. I think this is the Bankers Club, and I prefer it. And it is the Bankers Club. It wasn't the proof that gave it away. They didn't. The strength seemed about even, but it was the flavor that gave it away. The Bankers Club just had more flavor and a little nicer flavor. So Bankers Club for the win. Been on the market 54 years, and I know the bottle says 1907, but that's when the company got founded. The company Kasser Distilling of Philadelphia was founded in 1907. But they didn't come out with Bankers Club till 1969, 62 years later, you see. Marketing is king, says Joe Biden's dentist. It works every time. If it's done properly, it does work. Look at all the people drink Budweiser because of the Clydesdales. They just pulled the beer, in the 1800s, they pulled the beer wagons. Got nothing to do with the product quality, but people say, oh, it's so sentimental. And when I go to a parade and I see those Clydesdales, I'm so proud and all that. And that's good because I like seeing them too. And so there's the beer. Top selling beer in the world, actually. Not in the United States. That would be Bud Light. But in the whole world, it's Budweiser, the strong one. They call it Bud Heavy, as people call it. It's not heavy. It's only 145 calories. So Bankers Club for the win. Now, what's coming up next for Quality House? I got so many. It's going to go up against, I'll tell you what it's going to be. Julius Kessler blended whiskey. So the next one coming up on Monday, get ready for Quality House versus Julius Kessler blended whiskey. And I think Kessler is going to kill it. It's got a higher level of straight bourbon in it. It's apparently the second best-selling American blended whiskey behind Seagram 7 Crown. Oh, yeah. Isn't it a contest? If you see it and you skip it, I wouldn't take offense because you know how it's going to turn out. But I'm going to do the challenge anyway. Quality House versus Julius Kessler blended whiskey, both bottled in Kentucky. So get ready for tomorrow if you care to watch it. Thanks for watching. And now go watch the news. Now I am going to go watch the news.